doing? Happy New Year. This is great. It's been an incredible year. This was such a great year. And what's weird about 2020 for me is I feel like I'm clear. I feel the 2020 vision in next year. And I'm not a big resolutions guy. I'm not super into that. I never have been, but man, this year, this feels like such a paradigm shift right here. I feel like I'm right at the crux of it. We ended this great tour. This was the farewell tour for Peter Frampton. I've just redone my space. You know, I've done more than just my space. Like I've redone this space that I'm in. This is my studio. And I'll talk some more about that in a second, but I've kind of redone my web space, my head space, all kinds of space, you know? And so we just put out some great new products, and I'm so excited because a lot of people bought this stuff over the holidays. And I want you to please, 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 please post pictures of yourself in a t-shirt with your mug, with your painting on the wall. I mean, that would, yes, it's a business and it's really fun and I love it, but the reason why I make stuff and why I make things is to see it out in the world, to see it proliferate, to do things, to be there, to make people happy. Hopefully you like it. In fact, the other day I was talking to my sister-in-law, Julie, and she said, "Hey, I see you're making t-shirts now, Rob." And I go, "Yeah, well, you know, Julie, I make shit, man." And I kind of was flippant about it. And she goes, "So you make shit happen." And she said it seriously, and I really appreciated that. She said it, she meant it. And it occurred to me that, I'm not trying to blow my own horn here, but what did occur to me was I started this journey into a creative life back in my 20s. I took it very seriously. And I would encourage people, if you're a younger person, you really need to kind of work out your plan and what you want to do. And I think it's never too late to just mention this. This is why I'm going to go over this right now, because I feel like, you know, in my 20s, I had been working on my philosophy of creating, you know, like what does it take for me to create? I would go through ups and downs of some days I'd feel very creative. Some days I didn't know what to do and nothing was coming. And then I would realize I'd have to let myself off the hook, you know, actually just, it's okay. You don't have to create the same way every day. You can do other things. You can make other things. And this is, I guess, why I've branched off of just music. I could have been just a musician my whole life. But when I turned about 30, 29, I realized that I have this love for art. So I took that very seriously, and I went back to school. In a sense, I basically just taught myself. I read books on drawing and on color, and I tried all the different mediums. And then I just became a watercolorist, and that became my joy. And what was so cool about watercolors was it wasn't the music business. By 30, I was already a jaded music biz casualty. You know, I would already, like the business aspect of music, kind of taken the fun out of music. You know, it wasn't just the thing that you do in your bedroom that you just wanted to rock. You know, it had to make a living. And so anyways, art kind of, I mean, I'm just joking. It was still great. I love making music, and I still do. But there was that jaded aspect, and so art became kind of this new thing where it's like, oh, this is new, and it doesn't have to be a business. It's just for fun, and it's great. And so I did it for about 10 years without ever thinking of making a dime or trying to even sell anything or try to do whatever with it. It was just for me, and it had all this joy of just painting, you know. But what led me into that was I also recall in my 20s that I was constantly working on a kind of, I guess it was a book in my head. It was going to be an inspirational book on how to create. Like, how do you create? If I'm going to do this, I've got to be good, and I've got to do it with purpose. So it wasn't just an accident. It's not just like a God-given, okay, well, you just got this thing and then you just go and wow, everything happens. No. It was very, very planned and very, very deliberate, you know, I would say. And so I'm kind of proud of that now looking back, and this is kind of Now that we're at the end of a year and I feel reflective, I'm kind of proud of the fact that I was a young man with a purpose. You know, I did have this. So, and I would encourage people to, you know, really think about what your goals are. And I'm thinking about what my goals are for next year. I have a lot of them. There's so many. And so I feel like a kid again, but I'm in my new workspace. That was the one thing of my 5 rules that was always a constant. Be in an inspiring space, you know, be in this. Have things around you that inspired you. You know, I have all these things here. I've got this light, this RCA Victor light. I love lighting. I don't like overhead light ever. I like accent lights, and that's my thing. So I kind of collect lights, you know, these hanging 70s lamps and that kind of thing. I found this door here in Hendersonville, just a shitty old exterior wood door. So I planed it, I sanded, I stained, I polyed. This is my favorite keyboard right now, the Nord Electro 5. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. I find that being organized is a huge part of it too. Cricket's really a good influence on me. And Peter, man, he's very organized. His thinking is very compartmentalized. If you go to his studio, everything's in place. Everything's in the right place. Everything's got its spot. You know, I love that. I try to go through a ritual every day of putting things back, putting things in order. Tim Hatfield, a guy I work with a lot, Tim is very organized that way. I always loved how at the end of every session he rolls up every cable, puts every mic just right in its place, in the box, closes the box, locks the box, everything. I love that, man. You're so good at that. I think 2020 is gonna be great, so I wish everybody a happy new year. This year, lots of love to everybody. Let's all be productive, okay? Let's be organized, let's be cool, let's be creative, let's be productive. Come on, let's do it. 2020, baby.